Friends, you've heard the stories. President Ibrahim Traore of Burkina Faso is a man who thinks differently. You've heard about him building wooden cars, wooden bridges, digging canals across the sands. But what he's doing now? It's a move so audacious, so completely counterintuitive, it has stunned climate scientists and baffled the world's engineers. He is releasing millions of crabs into the heart of the Sahara Desert. Yes, you heard that right. Crabs. The creatures of the sea, the salty water, are now being deployed into a sea of sand. Why? Why would a head of state introduce a marine animal into one of the driest, most hostile environments on Earth? Is this madness? Or is it the secret to reversing desertification, bringing life back to a land that has been dead for decades? Stay with me for the next 13 minutes because the scientific secret behind Project Ayya. The desert crab is a miracle of nature you need to see to believe. This isn't just about Burkina Faso. This is about saving 40% of the African continent. And it all starts with a tiny creature that belongs in the ocean. When President Traore took power, he inherited a nation facing its greatest existential threat, the death of its land. The soil that once nourished crops was now nothing more than a dust bowl. Trees withered, rivers and streams vanished. Villages became ghost towns, battered by hot, relentless winds. But Traore refused to surrender. He had a philosophy. If the water runs out, life shouldn't end. Life must be recreated. And that belief led him to a truly radical, almost unbelievable question that he posed to his top scientists and ecologists. Can we resurrect a desert using creatures of the sea? The initial reaction was laughter, skepticism. Sir, crabs are saltwater creatures. How will they survive in the sand and the extreme heat? But Traore's answer was pure inspiration. If a human can survive in space, why can't a crab survive in the sand? And with that, Project Ayya was launched, a revolutionary experiment in biodesert reclamation. Here's the science. A common crab is a master engineer. When it burrows, it creates tiny underground shelters. Critically, these burrows pull cooler, damper air from deep within the earth to the surface. It's a natural air conditioning system. Traore's team of biologists didn't just grab any crab. They bioengineered a sand-tolerant species, a crab that not only survives the high temperatures, but thrives in them. These crabs are now being released by the millions, and what they do is simply astonishing. They dig, they aerate the dead sand, they seal in moisture. The burrows act like micro-reservoirs, trapping the minimal moisture that is already present in the ground, even in the driest air. They cool the earth. Within their little tunnels, the temperature drops. And in a matter of weeks, in those cool, moist pockets, something magical happens. Algae and moss begin to appear, the absolute first sign of life. And where there is algae, there are smaller organisms to eat it. A full self-sustaining food chain, life's initial foothold, is spontaneously created. The dead sand is coming back to life, but the project is more than just crabs. Traore has coupled this bio-initiative with a sophisticated water management system. Beneath the vast deserts, artificial channels and trenches are being dug. These channels are designed to capture and hold every drop of precious rainwater, preventing runoff and allowing it. This water then collects near the crab burrows, creating a natural underground water network. Experts are calling this the world's first natural air and water circulation project in a completely dry desert. And here's the truly bizarre part. These crabs were trained. Over 1 million crabs were brought from Burkina Faso's southern coastal regions. They were placed in artificial environments, a high-tech simulation chamber, where the salt, the humidity, and the temperature were gradually adjusted to match the desert conditions. These crabs were selectively bred to be desert hardy. They are now thriving without marine water. When released, the effects were immediate. The sand softened under their little feet. The air temperature in these zones dropped by 2 to 3 degrees Celsius in a matter of weeks. The crabs, as Traore said, were giving the land a chance to breathe again. The results have been nothing short of miraculous. In test zones where the crabs were introduced, simple green grass appeared within just 3 months, with no artificial fertilizer or irrigation. Global climate experts are calling this a miracle. Reports from France, China, and Turkey state that if this model succeeds, nearly 40% of Africa's desert land could become productive again. China is already calling it a biological desert reversal system, a system where living creatures, not machines, heal the planet. But the impact goes beyond the environment. This project is fueling a new economy. Thousands of people who once worked in dusty, polluting brick kilns are now employed in crab breeding centers. They manage the crabs' food, migration, and reproduction. And here's the smart part. The crabs yield a substance called chitin, a biodegradable material used in medicine, fertilizers, and as a plastic substitute. Traore has created a system where the environment is saved and the economy grows. As moisture returns, not just grass, but small insects, birds, and even desert fish are returning. Traore is now building artificial lakes in these regions, planting trees around them, creating what he calls a full ecological system for the future. This is not just an experiment. It is a prayer for the land, for the people, and for the generations to come. The UN Environment Program has called it the first desert biological revolution in human history, and if successful, this model will be adopted across the Sahel region, in nations like Niger, Mali, Sudan, and Chad. Traore's next goal is a green desert belt, a 50-kilometer-wide corridor across the western desert where the crabs will be protected and the surrounding land will be reforested. His aim, to make 70% of Burkina Faso's barren land fertile again within the next 10 years. He believes that to save nature, we don't need machines, we need creatures. Think about that. The once desolate, scorching desert of Burkina Faso transforming into a vibrant, living ecosystem. This is the real revolution. The one won not with guns, but with nature itself. If President Traore's revolutionary vision and the incredible story of the desert crab have amazed you, then it's time to share this message. We need the world to see the genius of leaders like Traore. Hit that share button and let every person you know understand that even the smallest creature, a little crab, can change the entire planet. And if you want to know about Traore's next unbelievable plan, his system for generating artificial rain over the desert, you absolutely cannot miss our next video. Subscribe now and ring the bell icon. Because in the next episode, we are going to unlock the secret that might just redraw the map of the entire world.